Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. It has been so long. I am so happy to be back. I missed you guys so much. Now, let me know if you can hear me okay. Make sure my sound is okay because it was tripping for a minute. That's why I'm late. Um, so put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Yes. Hello. Hi. Loud and clear. Great. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump in. Um, as I wrote on my community tab last month, your girl has been very busy. I have had a very busy spring. I have a busy summer, as well as a relaxing one. I don't want to make it seem like, I'm always working because I'm not. Sometimes I'm just relaxing and chilling. Your girl really don't like to work hard like that. I like to work, but I don't like to work too hard. And of course, I've been doing things outside of YouTube, but I've also been working on my new Chrissy VIP content. And that will soon be available over at chrissyonline.com. You guys know, like, it takes a minute for me to make quality content. It's different from just jumping on here and going live. This is like real content, quality new stuff. And for those of you who are not familiar, Chrissy VIP is a new space that houses my exclusive content. And I'm just working on some real good level up content that I've been literally wanting to make for at least a year now, if not longer. So you guys are going to love it. I can't wait to release it. And I'm not gonna let you know what I'm gonna do, but it's not all gonna be behind the paywalls. Cause some of it's gonna be public too. So stay tuned for that. And thank you to everyone who has been supporting Chrissy VIP, even since I've been on hiatus. A lot of you guys have been making orders. I have been working on content in my free time, but I do have other priorities. I have a life, okay? And I appreciate you guys for reaching out to me and emailing me and sending me stuff and telling me to come back. It's a good problem to have, but I just want you to know I'm okay. I'm doing fine. I just be doing other things. And there will be content in the near future, so make sure you're on my mailing list for updates. If you are interested in Chrissy VIP content, the link is in the description box. And I've said before that I will be doing less celebrity trending content, less mainstream content. I'm just getting a little bit bored with it. I'm getting a little bit bored with repeating myself over and over and over again. And I just want to focus on doing new things, which is what Chrissy VIP is. But in the meantime, while I'm working on content, I just don't want to keep ghosting y'all. So, I wanted to come through and still touch on some trending topics like I'm doing now. I'll do this when I have time. Okay. So let's get into it. A lot has happened since I've been gone. When I tell y'all been begging me to talk about all of the celebrity mess that has been going on. And I asked my community tab earlier, well, I asked on my community tab what you all wanted me to cover just to get a feel of what most people, wanted to discuss. And I won't be talking about every topic suggested in this particular live stream, but I do want to cover a few, as you can see by the title and on the thumbnail. And I want this particular live stream to be mostly about trending colorism topics. And I want to do a separate live stream soon about the dating trending topics specifically because I just I have a lot of opinions on that, like the current dating discourse being given to black women in particular. So I'm just going to save that for a whole different live stream. But let's start with the all of the mainstream colorism that's been happening. And I want to say pertaining to the colorism in the mainstream that's been happening for the last month or so. Black people, they try to come on here and gaslight me when I talk about colorism, but y'all will never be able to convince me that black women and dark skinned black women in particular are just a bunch of evil, jealous monsters that, hate light skinned women and mixed women or hate black men. Because the way I've been seeing black women, and mostly dark skinned black women, by the way, going up for light skinned women, caping for light skinned women, mixed women, having, this huge outpour of compassion and concern and support for mixed race women in the last month, baby, y'all can't sit here and try to tell me that we hate them. I'm sorry. I don't see it. Um, we have more compassion for mixed race women than we have for ourselves. I'm specifically talking about dark skinned women. So you're just not going to be able to convince me that dark skinned women as a collective hate light skinned women. We are their main supporters. And to be honest, without us and our support, whether it be online support, financial support of their brands, their movies, or just whatever they have going on, we show up for them more than we show up for ourselves. That is just the truth. And a lot of you guys were pointing that out on my community tab, saying how we identify with Krishan Rock. I mean, Cardi B, just everybody, and it's just so evident at this point. And that is the reoccurring theme I have seen in all of these recent mainstream situations. We show up more for these women a lot of times more than black men do. Because even with this Jackie O situation, like if you notice, like black men really been talking shit about her. I'm not saying like the mainstream black men who knew her and who knew DC Young Fly. Like, of course, they're sympathetic, but just like the everyday black man, no. Black women have been way more supportive than even black men. Have y'all noticed that? Oh yeah, this is gonna stay up, don't worry. Yeah, and so y'all gonna be mad at me, but what's new? Y'all always mad. I mean, I've been gone forever and y'all still be mad. I'm like, I haven't even done anything. Like, I'm not even here and y'all still be talking shit. It's so funny. So let's first talk about Jackie O. Okay. So by now everyone has heard about Jackie O dying after her mommy makeover procedure. And this is just really sad. I totally expect black women or any woman to feel sympathy or sadness about this. I would never, chastise black women for feeling empathy for her. I think, this is just a sad situation. I mean, two small children and a baby are now left without a mother because of a 100% unneeded surgery. This woman was young, nothing was wrong with her body, and it's just a shame to me that women, just women in general, but especially black women, are actually unaliving themselves for bigger butts, smaller waists, to pretty much appeal to black men. Okay, let's just call it for what it is. These women are trying, and we're trying to appeal to black men. And for what? This woman did all of that, lost her life for a man who wouldn't even marry her and made her a baby mama. And there's actually footage, I'm not going to show it here, but there is footage of this man here, DC Young Fly, joking about how Jackie's breasts look and how they look bad, I think he said they look like pizza or something like that. There's footage of him on a panel with a bunch of other black men joking about women's bodies after they have children and after they get plastic surgery. So this man is disgusting, and he claims to be this man of God. And it's like, if you're such a man of God, why didn't you marry the mother of your children? So it's like I'm sorry to all the Christians in here, but this is why I can't take a lot of y'all church folks seriously. Y'all be talking out both sides of y'all face. Like that whole little speech he gave, I was just like, okay. Like, I don't know. A lot of y'all ate that up, but I was just like, okay, whatever. But it's just it's disgusting to me. And it's disgusting to me to hear the manosphere men and the women, the red pill women, talk about how the women who are getting these BBLs and these mommy makeovers or whatever aren't doing it to appeal to men, and specifically to black men, when it comes to the BBLs or whatever. And the whole thing like that men are saying in the manosphere, they're like, oh well, women do this to impress other women, the men have nothing to do with it, black men want natural. And I'm like, When are black men gonna stop lying? When they gonna stop lying? I just like, and this is why I have no respect for the collective of black. They don't tell the truth. They don't tell the truth. And notice how some of the main ones who push that narrative, because I haven't been watching everything, but I've been watching some things. I peek in every now and then to keep my finger on the pulse. And I'm listening to some of the feedback from the black men in the manosphere, and you know, they're essentially blaming her for her own death. And they're blaming all of these women who get plastic surgery strictly on them trying to impress other women. But notice how, those who have pushed that narrative, they conveniently, from what I've seen, have failed to post the videos of DC Young Fly himself making fun of Jackie's breasts, him and his friends making fun of women with bodies they don't find appealing. They don't post those videos. They're not posting that. And this is why I don't respect the manosphere or, the red pillars, because they are so dishonest about the most obvious shit. They don't have enough integrity to come back and retract their statements after actually seeing this man talk negatively about his girlfriend's body. I mean, there's just no accountability. I think there was one guy I did see on TikTok, one black guy. He was a bigger guy. I should have pulled the clip, but he was going off on him. And that's one of the only black men who really held him accountable. And when you have these I would say anomaly black men who hold black men accountable, they're always alone. They're always by themselves. So this is why I say the collective is just trash. There's no accountability, and it's disgusting. Now, I do agree that these women are grown. Okay. They make their own decisions. And some of their decisions to get plastic surgery is to compete with other women. I'm not going to act like that is not going on. But here's the thing: you are not going to convince me that, if, let's just say, if black men didn't like a certain body type, right? Do you really think that black women and mixed women like Jackie O, and even white women, like the Kardashians and whatnot, even though they're kind of, going backward and they're trying to be quote unquote white women again, you know what I'm saying? But do you think that these women, if black men didn't like that body type, do you think that they would still get the surgery? Do y'all think that they would? Because I don't. I think even if black women liked it, or even if these women liked the look of that, if black men ultimately said, no, I don't like that shit is disgusting, it's ugly, I don't think these women would get the surgery. I don't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. So the reasoning behind these women wanting these enhancements absolutely starts with wanting to be desirable by black men. Okay, and that needs to be acknowledged in this conversation. And this is why, as black women, this is why I want to talk about this, because it goes deeper than just Jackie O. Like, yeah, this is getting mainstream attention, but it's several black women before her that have died from these surgeries. So that's why I kind of wanted to talk about it and bring awareness to it. It's bigger than her. And a lot of black women, I think mostly black women are the ones dying from these surgeries. Black women who look like you and me. And this is why I think that, as black women, you really need to expand your options to non-black men, just so you know that you don't just have one group of men to impress or try to impress. You need to find somebody who likes you as you are, and expanding your options and having more men to choose from, it gives you just a higher chance of finding a man that's going to like you the way you are. And these men, they say they want natural women, but the same men, they will flock to women with BBLs. They will flock to women, with these long, ridiculous weaves and nails and baby hairs. So, black men say one thing, but their actions don't match up with their words. Okay. And like it or not, I'm not saying it's right, but women are always going to try to look as close as they can to a man's fantasy, the men that they want anyway. Right? So when the Kardashians were trying to appeal to black men, they got those big booties, right? Now that they're trying to appeal to white men and be taken more seriously and not be associated with black people in the black community, they're reverting back to, the thinness and the skinniness, which that's becoming an overall trend again anyway. But I'm just saying, you know, most women, this is not just exclusive to black women, but most women who want men are going to try to appeal aesthetically to the men that they want. That is just the way it is. And when these women don't feel like they measure up, they're going to feel inadequate and feel like they need to be quote unquote fixed. And that's what's happening here. And I would just have more respect for black men and just men in general if they just admit that these women are getting surgeries to appeal to y'all. That's just what it is. Even the everyday average man, especially black men, who do you think is getting these women rich on OnlyFans? They complain about OnlyFans and how women are making so much money, but who's paying for it? It's everyday men. And these women with the BBL, some of these BBLs look ridiculous. They have these OnlyFans. Who do you think is paying for their lifestyles? So, you guys, you guys can say, oh, men want natural. And, I hear the women saying men want natural and you don't have to appeal to all men. You just need to appeal to one, which, that sounds all well and good and it sounds right. But a lot of these men who are married, who are, fucking on their everyday women, their baby mamas, you think they ain't paying for OnlyFans to see these BBL booties? Come on, y'all. Come on. This is all cap. These men are lying. And let me tell you something. When men say they want quote unquote natural women, they don't mean completely natural, ladies. Y'all need to get that through your head. They usually mean, here's what men say when they say I want a natural woman. This is what men say. This is men of all races, okay? Men want believable hair. I didn't say real, I said believable. They want it to look like it grows out of your scalp. They want nails done. This is most men, especially men of means. They want your nails done, but they don't want them crazy nails, usually. Okay? And when it comes to makeup, they want natural glam type makeup. They want something that enhances your beauty, but it doesn't look like a cake face. That's what men want. And I just wish they would be honest about that. Stop saying you like natural women. You don't. Most men don't want women in their complete natural state. It's bullshit. And when it comes to black men in particular, some of y'all hit it right on the nail in the chat box. When it comes to black men in particular, there's a lot of other shit that's not being said. They're natural. Their natural is Jackie O. That's what they mean by natural. They mean natural hair, as in Jackie O's hair type and her skin tone. Okay. And if they do tolerate type 4 hair, notice I said tolerate. When they do tolerate kinky hair, okay, they prefer it to be long and they prefer it to be stretched out. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I get way more compliments from black men when my hair is not totally shrunken. They like it long, they like it swinging. Okay? And they prefer loose curls. That's what they like. And what's interesting is black men, and I found this with many black men. They can compliment type 4 hair cuz I got type 4 hair. They can compliment type 4 hair and still be colorist as fuck or have a preference for something else. I've experienced that many times. Black men are kings of, trying to have game. What's up, queen? What's up, my chocolate queen? Your beautiful natural hair. Oh, I love that hair. Oh, you smell good. And then you talk to them for a while and they end up colorist or something else be wrong with them and they dusty. So it's like you can't take them at face value. I've met very few black men that are actually not colorist and really genuinely like black women with black features and black hair, typical black hair. And as far as, men wanting long hair or wanting women who keep themselves up, women who are feminine, women who are average in weight or fit, that goes for any group of men. But in my experience, black men who date black women are way more fixated on long hair and big butts. That's just what it is. Yeah, they're very featurist as well. Now, non-black men who date black women, they don't put as much emphasis on that. They generally just find, black women's overall appearance exotic, which is why you should open your options because that can absolutely work in your advantage. You don't have to have this big old donkey booty with this snatched waist. I'm talking from the experience of somebody who's naturally built like that. Now, obviously, I don't look perfect like a BBL, but I'm built like that. A lot of black women are. I'm sure some of y'all can relate. And so I've been getting that type of attention all my life. But it's very sexual attention. You know what I'm saying? So I know more than anyone what black men truly like, and they generally like that body type on Jackie O's face, with Jackie O's hair, with Jackie O's skin tone, which is probably what she went to get. She went to get probably a bigger butt. So I say all of that to say that men are full of shit when they say they want natural women. There's a lot that they're leaving out. It's cap. And this is men of all races, but especially black men. IB says you can actually get away with being a little bit bummier with other races of men, in my experience. That is true. That is true. Just kind of like when you're looking kind of regular. Yeah, that's true. Now I don't condone looking bummy. I don't condone that. Put your best foot forward at all times. But I'm saying, yeah, black men, especially when it comes to dark skinned black women, they want you to be exceptionally attractive. They want you to be damn near model esque. And if you're not model esque, they want you to have a ghetto booty, and they're gonna concentrate on that ghetto booty. So that's just what it is. So anyway, um, let's talk about Miss Azalea. So shortly after the news spread about Jackie O, here comes Azalea with her weird ass. Let me not say nothing too bad about her because I don't know. She might be trying to put some bad juju on me or something. I ain't trying to get her bad graces because look, I ain't trying to have no spells put on me, okay? But Azealia comes through and she posts this on her Instagram. And she says, damn, DC Young Fly spent years disguising his own deeply rooted hatred of self as jokes pointed at women's beauty, projecting his own feelings about his own ugliness onto women perfectly secure in their own skin. Say what you want about my tears, they were pure tears of rage and not at all a sign of weakness because in the end, I won. I'm happy I cried and moved on. That Jackie O girl must have been so deeply insecure about herself. And the nerve of DC to call such a gorgeous woman as Azealia Banks ugly on national television while a bunch of black people laughed. I don't think anyone gets how much the press from that episode derailed the success of Anna Wintour. I came to sing my song and go home only at the request of my label. Then the stupid Butch Queens on stage behind me basically making a mockery of it being a gay song, fake voguing behind me in their do rags like they aren't all raging homosexuals. And, this was the part that really stuck out to most people. And she says, and ironically, dead at 32, exactly on my 32nd birthday, May 31st, 2023, in Miami, Florida. You niggas are going to learn to stop fucking with me. So that's what Azealia had to say. And obviously, Azalea's comments on this were very inappropriate. They were very distasteful. And I just think that's something she should have kept to herself, even if, it has some validity to it. Because what she said about the birthday and the age and the synchronicities, that is eerie. That is very eerie. And again, all I'm saying is that I don't want to be on Azalea's bad side because I ain't trying to get cursed, okay? I feel like I'm protected by the divine feminine, but I don't know. Azealia crazy. And look, I completely understand her still being upset about what DC said to her. But I just think, if you're a believer of that kind of karma or that kind of divine or whatever you call it, spiritual debt or whatever, she may be actually cursing herself by borderline celebrating the demise of someone who didn't directly do anything to her. You know what I'm saying? Now, DC, what he said was it hurtful? Yeah. Are these mixed women like Jackie O, are they willingly dealing with colorist men? Yes. And, they also perpetuate colorism against dark skinned women. But in my opinion, that doesn't hold the same weight as someone dying. You know, it's like, Azealia, you didn't win anything because a black man's preference baby mama died. You didn't win anything. And see, that's the issue with putting so much weight on what black men prefer. You end up thinking that you benefit when something like this happens, when in reality you didn't gain anything, and black men are still going to be who they are. They're still going to be who they are. DC, he gonna find another low self-esteem having mixed woman just like Jackie O to play stepmama to his three kids. He gonna find that in no time. Just watch. So Azealia, she needs to heal and move on. And personally, it's to the point where I am truly indifferent when it comes to these colorist men. And the only reason I'm literally still here talking about this is to get other dark skinned women to a place of indifference so they don't end up making a fool of themselves like Azealia did. Now, with that said, as a dark skinned black woman, it is still completely counterproductive to me to attack Azealia on her skin tone or her looks just because she did something distasteful. And that is what I see a lot of black women foolishly doing. And to be honest, this is just something I think black women should have set out. Ignore Azealia. Ignore her. And I understand having compassion, but black women seemed to have more compassion for Jackie O than you do every everyday black women who are dying and getting unalived every day and who are dying from plastic surgery procedures. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't jump up and down about that, like, don't jump up and down about this. That's all I'm saying. And I know part of it is because Jackie was somewhat of a celebrity, but it's just the optics are bad, black women. That's all I'm saying. The optics are bad. The optics are bad when you publicly go harder for um mixed race women than you do yourselves in your own image. And please believe, like I said earlier, for every one dark skinned woman like Azealia that bullies or attacks a light skinned woman, there are at least 20 dark skinned women that will aggressively come to that light skinned woman's defense. It's like black women are on autopilot. We are already on autopilot when it comes to being attack dogs for light skinned and mixed race women. And if it just so happens to be a dark skinned woman that attacks those women, dark skinned women are the most aggressive defenders next to black men. And again, we probably defend them more than black men at this point. And we're not only defending these women, but we're hurling the very same colorist insults at them that black men do on behalf of these mixed race women. And I wanted to talk about this because this is the same thing that happened with Chica and this airplane incident with T.I.'s granddaughter, T.I. and Tiny's granddaughter. Now, was Chica wrong? Absolutely. But does that warrant other dark skinned women calling her black, ugly, and musty because somebody else called her musty and you just assume that she's musty? So you're calling her fat and musty and ugly. It's just all over the internet. Like, come on, y'all. So my biggest issue is not so much that black women have compassion for non-black women or women who don't look like them. My issue is that you don't have that same compassion for women who look like you. And no, I didn't say all black women look like Chica because I know that's going to come next. I don't look like Chica. I'm saying black women who look closer to you. You don't have that same compassion. And in my opinion, it's due to your internalized colorism and your internalized inferiority complex. You don't like yourselves, you don't like what you look like, and you think you are unworthy. So when another black woman who looks similar to you does something wrong, you think you have to just punish her. with no mercy. You think she's less worthy of grace, and you're projecting your feelings of inferiority onto her. That is what's happening here. And I don't want to say that this is only a black woman thing. I do see white women ripping other white women apart for their looks, especially, this is why you kind of got to get out of your bubble and see what other people are doing, because all you got to do is go to one of those Kardashian threads, in a predominantly white space. Oh baby, those white women are notorious for calling other white women fat and ugly. Notorious, especially like fat. They love calling each other fat. That's definitely a thing among other groups of women. So, I don't want to like pathologize black women in particular, but um it's the word ugly, right? That gets thrown around a lot more in black woman spaces. That's what I'm saying. Black and ugly specifically. Those two things. Just like, DC called Azealia ugly when he looks how he looks. When he looked like her, basically, he called her ugly. That's the shit that happens. It makes absolutely no sense. It makes no sense when dark skinned men do it, and it makes no sense when dark skinned women do it to each other. It makes no sense. Because y'all look alike. And I said the same thing when y'all were all over the internet calling OG ugly, when some of y'all look just like her. I took a screenshot of this African woman calling her ugly. She looked just like OG. It was so crazy. I was like, are you kidding me? I don't understand. And look, I don't particularly feel like, black women have to express that all black women are attractive. You just don't have to comment on everything. That's all I'm saying. If a black woman is unattractive to you, why say it? Do you see a bunch of mixed women saying that other mixed women are ugly? And usually when they do, it's like somebody who they think are just busted, like Tiny or something. But for the most part, they don't do that. But, it's totally unrealistic to expect you to just find all black women attractive. That's not what I'm saying, because I get accused of that a lot. Oh, Chrissy wants all black women to, she thinks all black women are attractive. I do think most black women are attractive. I do. Like, what do you expect me to think? I'm a black woman. I think we're beautiful. So what do you expect me to say? Most black women are ugly? The fuck? Black men don't do that. Nobody else does that, but they just expect us to just be like, yeah, we're ugly. Like, where did they do that at? I'm not gonna do that, and I genuinely don't feel that way. Actually, like the way dark skinned women look. I like the way I look. It's crazy how they want you to have low self esteem. They want you to think that you're ugly. It's crazy. This community is nuts. It's nuts. I remember a dude a long time ago actually got mad at me because I said a dark skinned little girl was pretty. Like, he actually got mad. I was like, really? It's just crazy. It's crazy. So they're infuriated when they think that you're attractive, when they think that you are attractive and you feel good about yourself. They hate that shit. But at the same time, I know it's not realistic for everybody to just think everybody in the black community is attractive. I'm not attracted to all black men, so I get it. And I'm also not of the mindset that fat phobia is anti-black, because one of you guys, brought that up in the comment section. Look, obesity is not a race. Any race can be fat, and it is unhealthy on any race. So I would never encourage obesity, especially when it's literally killing black women. Heart disease, diabetes, all that stuff, that's killing black women. And I don't care how fat phobic y'all think that is for me saying that. So I would never condone that. But am I going to sit around mocking fat black women on the internet on behalf of light skinned women and light skinned babies? No. No. And black women, if you wouldn't call a fat mixed woman fat and musty, or an ugly white woman or mixed woman, if you wouldn't call them ugly, even if they are, when they make you mad, then don't default to those insults when it's a black woman that makes you mad. That's all I'm saying. Have that same energy. It's like automatically when a dark skinned woman makes you mad, you default to ugly. Simply Bree says, I hate that black women were coming for Chica's looks. Like she couldn't be condemned without that. But this isn't the first time Chica has done this. She consistently calls little black girls ugly. Yeah, exactly. And see, that's why I can't like same with Azealia. I can't really go up for them. You know, they are two, and that's actually what I was gonna say. But they are two dark skinned women who are extremely problematic. You know, I don't care for either of them. I have called both of them out on my channel. You guys have seen me do it. And that's something else y'all like to lie about. Y'all like to be like, oh, Chrissy doesn't hold dark skinned women accountable. I've called Chica out on this channel. I have called Azealia out on this channel. Both women have made colorist attacks against other dark skinned women or girls. And they clearly have issues. They aren't particularly likable people. But I would never use colorism against them or clown their looks, especially not on behalf of a black man or a light skinned woman, who, as a rule, those two groups don't go hard at all when it comes to defending dark skinned women. They don't. So, what I'm saying here is not that these women are right or not that they're perfect, but I'm saying you need to pick and choose your battles wisely. You don't have to respond to everything. And if you do, you don't have to respond with colorism. You don't have to respond like that. And when I look at these women, these two women, I don't see ugly. I really don't, and I'm genuinely serious about that. I think they're both pretty women. So I don't know what y'all seeing. I don't. Really, I don't. Anyway, moving on to Hallie Bailey. So, pretty sure I'm gonna trigger y'all. I'm gonna trigger y'all again, but I'm about to rub this shit in your face. I am because y'all gonna stop dragging me, and then when I'm right the whole time. Y'all gonna stop dragging me. And then months later, I end up right. And y'all don't come back and correct your statements. I'm going to rub it in every time because I feel vindicated. So, as most of you know, Hallie Bailey starred in the recent live action Little Mermaid film. She played Ariel. I saw it, it was good. I thought there would be more singing. That's what I was looking forward to because I love to hear Hallie sing. But maybe I don't know. Was the original, did it not have a lot of singing? I don't know. I was like, really? That's all we get? But either way, Hallie did a good job. Now, before this movie came out, I had some criticism about the optics compared to The Woman King. I don't know if you guys remember that video, but I still stand, 100% stand by everything I said in that video. Feel free to watch it if you haven't already. But I said in that video that I felt the optics of having a lighter skinned mermaid or a light brown skinned mermaid, however you classify Hallie's complexion, who is feminine, dainty mermaid, juxtaposed to a cast full of masculine warrior dark skinned women. I said in that video that it perpetuates the idea that dark skinned women are inherently masculine and we are only good for being warriors that fight on the front lines. And I said that while I think that there is room for depictions like the Woman King, and while I was happy for Hallie, I still think the representation is lopsided and I would like to see more actual dark skinned women who are as dark as the women in the Woman King have more feminine roles such as the Little Mermaid or princesses or whatever to balance out the representation. And when I tell you I got dragged, yeah, I know the queen was dark skinned, but I'm talking about young main character. It's a difference. It's a difference. Yeah, Shanna, thank you for the super chat. I'm gonna talk about Amber and Jocelyn after this. This is what I said. And baby, when I tell you I got dragged, black women dragged me for filth. All of a sudden, y'all was telling me Hallie wasn't a light skinned woman. She wasn't light skinned. She was damn near dark skinned. There wasn't a big difference between her and dark skinned women, this, that, and the third. That's what y'all said, remember? And now y'all mad at this. Now, fast forward to today, after the trailer for Color Purple comes out, and you see that Hallie is cast to play Nettie, which historically Nettie is a dark skinned woman. In the book Color Purple, in the old movie, she's a dark skin. That's how she's described. Now that she's playing alongside Fantasia, who plays Celie, now y'all can see that she's light skinned or she's light brown skin or she's not a dark skinned woman. Now you can see it. Now you admit that she does not represent dark skinned women, and you understand why this is problematic because in the Color Purple storyline, Nettie is considered more desirable. Nettie is considered more feminine, while Celie is considered ugly, and she obviously endures most of the abuse in the movie. And I'm looking at all these responses, and I'm like, this is what I was trying to tell y'all about the Woman King. This is exactly what I was saying. But I guess now that these women are in the same movie and you see the contrast because they're side by side in the same movie, you see what I was talking about. The darker woman is the workhorse. She's considered uglier, only good for sex. And the light skinned woman, she's considered more desirable, more feminine. And ultimately, in the storyline, she gets to live a more privileged, fulfilling life. Right? Remember? Because I'm very familiar with The Color Purple. I grew up on that movie. But see, this is what I be trying to tell y'all. And when I tell y'all in the moment, you want to curse me out. But then something like this happens and it proves everything I was saying. And I swear, almost every time I try to put dark skinned women on game, when it comes to optics and representation, y'all literally drag me. But I'm vindicated every single time, whether it's months or years later. And it makes me wonder if Black women were to catch this kind of stuff early, when people like me are trying to tell y'all the game, when we tell y'all the first time, then maybe they would stop casting us like this. Maybe they would get the point and be like, oh, they don't like that. But when other Black women try to put you on game, you drag us. And then you turn around and complain when they do the exact same thing that we try to warn y'all about. I know, Cosmic Child. I'm specifically talking about the Black women who didn't get it and the Black women who cursed me the fuck out. That's who specifically I'm talking about. The Black women who dragged me on Bum Bitch Alley. Yeah, y'all bitches. I don't want to hear y'all talk about how Nettie light skinned and the color purple. Shut the fuck up. I already told you. I already told you. This is what I was talking about. It's the same exact shit. And let me acknowledge this. I realize that the pushback that I got back then when I said this was a problem. It's because Hallie was getting so much slack from white people about, Disney casting a Black woman to portray a mermaid. And I think Black women in general, you took that very personally. So you were on the defense. You were very defensive, and you were still, very sensitive to any criticism about the film. So you didn't want to hear anything negative, what you perceive to be negative. But what you are now complaining about when it comes to this Color Purple film is exactly what I was talking about. And it's interesting because I've heard several Black women on other platforms. I've heard y'all say, "Oh, well, you got all these little dark-skinned Black girls who don't look like Hallie, who, are identifying with her. They're, living vicariously through her." And I will say, I would rather dark-skinned little girls identify with Hallie over somebody like Meghan Markle. But it's still, Hallie is still not representation for dark-skinned girls, and nothing is wrong with that. It's not me saying that anything is wrong with Hallie. It's not me saying that I'm not happy for her. It's not me saying that she didn't deserve the role. It's me saying that dark skinned little girls need to identify with women who look like them. And it's okay to acknowledge when a actress does not represent dark skinned women and dark skinned girls. It's okay. It's not a slight to Halle. I love Halle. I think she's beautiful. I think she's talented. Yeah, Tiana was, and I hope they do a live action film with that. But even the storyline, wasn't Tiana a maid, and then she kissed the frog, and some. I haven't seen the movie, but y'all were telling me that the frog, the prince was a frog the whole time, and he wasn't even a prince. So the dark skinned character couldn't even get a real fucking human man. Like it's little shit like that that gets on my nerves. And even when you think about like Hallie in this film, like, did y'all see what they did to her dreads? They made the dreads real loose. That's another thing. Does this hair on this doll look like the hair on this little girl holding it? I mean, like, this is the type of shit that I don't like. I don't understand. If I had daughters, that type of shit matters. You know? Tiana was the frog girl. I don't know. I just remember y'all talking about it. I still gotta watch it, but I was just like, what? And so look, and I'm not saying it's even up to white people to do this. Like black people should have their own mermaid films. So I mean, white people are never gonna get it right. I don't think we should expect them to. But I'm just saying, like, y'all be satisfied with crumbs. For real, y'all do. Y'all are so used to like being deprived of representation, you take anything. And what I'm saying is you deserve more. This is not enough. Yeah, and then you're gonna be wondering why your little girl wants, blonde weave that looks like this little doll right here. Like you're gonna be wondering why she don't like her afro. You know what I mean? And then when you tell when I say this stuff, y'all think I'm being extra. What is extra about it? And I'm telling you, for coming from a household where my mom painted the angel on the Christmas tree with black permanent marker, she wasn't having that. She wasn't having none of that. I'm not saying I didn't have no white dolls, but she made sure I saw myself. And see, this is why y'all be like, oh, Chrissy's so insecure. No, Chrissy's arrogant. Chrissy knows what she deserves. Y'all need to be more like that and know that you deserve more. And it's okay to want to see people who look like you. Is that a little bit narcissistic? Yeah, but everybody is. White women are narcissistic. They want to see themselves everywhere. Y'all don't say nothing about that. But if that makes me a wannabe white girl, okay, bitch, call me Becky. That's all I got to say. Because hell yeah, I want to see women who look like me on the screen in the way that I want to see them. Feminine, being taken care of, not dusty, with natural hair, luxury, all that, because we deserve that. I want to see some afros blowing in the wind. I want to see a mermaid. Now, I will say, on Little Mermaid, that dark skinned mermaid with the long natural hair, she was cute. She was the shit, actually. But of course, she's not the main character. I want to see the main character. I want to see dark skinned women as the main character. Yep. Is that narcissistic? Is that conceited? Is that vain? Maybe. Okay. Well then that's what I am. Think I give a fuck about that? Think I give a fuck about y'all calling me a gold digger and all this shit? I don't care. We need more black women who are like that. Y'all deserve more. Your little girls deserve more. Sasha says in the movie, Tiana was working a lot and she was meant to teach the prince how to work hard. See, ugh. She was working two jobs with no sleep. Her attraction came from her work ethic compared to. See, this is what I'm saying. That's some bullshit. I don't even want to see the movie. So even in the Disney cartoons, you're the workhorse. You working all these jobs. Meanwhile, Sleeping Beauty, all that bitch did was sleep until she got kissed by the prince. And y'all don't think something is anyway. But I get tired because when black women like me come on here and tell you this type of shit, You say I'm divisive, you attempt to destroy my platform, and that is what makes this work so exhausting. Y'all are fighting me for trying to help you and us and our image. This all inclusive mess that has your little dark skinned girls identifying with girls who don't even look like them. And look, granted, yeah, Hallie had little white girls, playing with her dolls too. But the difference is the white girls still also see themselves as the main character all the time. They're used to it. So it's like they can afford to, have a few here and there that don't look like them. Right? So it's different. So we're not going to compare that either because I know y'all going to come up here and say that, well, Hallie, she had pictures with white girls holding the doll that looks nothing like them. Yeah, and the white girls have eight other princesses. Like, can y'all, and then just the false comparisons, like, it's just so annoying what y'all do and the arguments that y'all make. Y'all reach so far to try to get a win, and it's like, it's not a win. And again, I'm not expecting white people to do it, it's not their job. Really, it's black men's job to do this shit like white men have done for their women and girls. But just because black men aren't doing it doesn't mean you just have to accept anything. That's all I'm saying. I would rather, and I've said this before, I would rather them not promote black women at all than promote them wrong. I would rather have zero promotion than bad promotion or ineffective promotion or non balanced promotion. I don't want anything then. But this all inclusive mess that, has these girls identifying with Hallie, even though they look nothing like her. This is what y'all fight me for. So it's a situation where black women are complaining about a problem that y'all helped to create and you continue to help create. And when it comes to like the color purple, um, I want to say this about the color purple. You know, just in general, I'm annoyed with this depiction of black women. It's overkill at this point. Who asked for another color purple? Did anybody ask for this? Who asked for this? We don't need another color purple, in my opinion. We don't need more movies like this. We don't need slave movies. We don't need more slave movies. We don't need none of that. We have enough. That's just my opinion. I don't see how this benefits black women. Maybe some of y'all can change my mind. But we have enough. Now, I do see where black men are crying about it because they were saying it makes them look bad. And something I do wonder is, and let me know if what y'all think about this. Let me know if you think I'm reaching right. Because I did think about this briefly. Will movies like The Color Purple, will they make black men less appealing to black women? What do y'all think? Because black women, we doing a lot of talk on the internet about expanding our options, not dating dusties, getting away from abusive men, decentering men. I keep hearing that a lot. And, a lot of black women, myself included, are already expanding their options to other races of men. And even Little Mermaid had, a white male love interest. Now, he couldn't sing. I was trying to figure out why they put this man in here that can't sing. Did y'all notice that he could not sing? I was like, Um, but even Hallie had a little, whatever. And even though again she doesn't represent dark skinned women, but black women in general, maybe that'll give them some ideas to swirl. Okay, I'm not the only one who didn't think he could sing. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the singing disappointed me. I think Hallie really sounded good, but I wanted to hear more. And then when he came out with his little solo, I said, "No, ma'am." Taya said he has some good notes, girl. That's how you know he can sing, not just some good notes. I mean, his song was cool. I just didn't think he could sing that well. And so, I'm thinking like, anyway, the color purple. Like, I'm thinking like, will it? and Color Purple and The Little Mermaid, and just the conversations in general. Like, will it influence Black women to expand their options, right? Maybe both movies will subconsciously encourage Black women to stop being so stuck on Black men. So that may be one good thing that comes out of these movies. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. Cause Black men are mad about it. Somebody said Umar was mad. I didn't hear that. But yeah, they mad about it and they blaming it on the feminists and all this stuff. And I heard one Black man say that the reason they don't want Black women and the reason they deal with other race women is because of movies like Color Purple and because of the mainstream Black misandry. That's like a big thing, like Black misandry. They're like really going in about that. And even I call bullshit on that. I call bullshit on that. But I do feel like the mainstream colorism and misogyny, since they want to talk about mainstream misandry, I think the mainstream colorism and misogyny against Black women, along with the increasing IR propaganda directed at Black women, because it is propaganda, but I'm gonna take that propaganda because it works in our favor. But I think that it may have a similar effect on Black women. Maybe more Black women will get the idea like, hmm, maybe I should see what's over there. What do y'all think about that? Am I reaching with that? And I just think Black men are full of shit. Yeah, they're talking about the misandry. And even if the Color Purple didn't exist, and all you had were Black women praising Black men, in which Black women do a lot of, by the way. They talk about the Black misandry, but I think you have an equal or more amount of Black men, or I'm sorry, Black women who praise Black men and who worship Black men. So, I think it kind of evens itself out. But of course, if every Black woman isn't singing their praises, then they pretend that it's more than what it is, who are quote unquote misandrous. I don't really care if they call me a misandrist. Like if misandrist is holding them accountable, then fuck it. I'm misandra. I'm a misandrist. But even if the Color Purple didn't exist, Black men would still be colorist. And this is why I always say I just have more respect for the Black men who are honest about their lack of attraction to Black women. I have more respect for men who are not hiding behind movies like The Color Purple and quote unquote misandry and male bashing, as they call it, to justify why they don't date Black women. No, you don't date Black women first and foremost because you are not attracted to Black women. And I keep telling y'all, this is where it starts with most of them. They are just more attracted to non Black women or mixed women. Kevin Samuel said this out of his own mouth. And this was supposed to be Mr. Black Love, trying to bring Black women and Black men together. No, he said out of his own mouth that Black women were the least attractive group of women. So that means no matter how fit, feminine, and friendly Black women are, there'll never be enough for these Black men talking most shit online. And they won't admit that because a lot of them still want sexual access to Black women, even if they're not attracted to them. Or they want a backup plan if it doesn't work out with the light, bright, or white woman. But see, smart Black women like the women over here know the truth. But y'all, you Black men, you have already spent years saying you don't want a dark skinned Black woman. You don't want a Celie. You don't want that. You don't want Black women with certain features. So you can't change it now and act like you're not dealing with us primarily because of the fucking Color Purple. Come on, dude. You're lying. Don't sit here and act like it's because of the Color Purple or because of Miss Andre or because, we're not fit, feminine, friendly. That's bullshit. When Black women were fit, feminine, friendly, you still wanted the Lena Horns and the Dorothy Dandruffs. We have the proof. We have the evidence. We know what y'all been saying this whole time. You can't go back and change it now. So that's just the other part I want to say about the Color Purple. Black men are full of shit like they're full of shit on every fucking thing else. Next I want to talk about Amber Rose and Jocelyn Hernandez. I want to talk about this situation. And I'm not going to play the clip, but basically Amber Rose, she initiated a fight with Jocelyn on College Hill, the reality show, cuz I guess they were in class and the topic of race came up. And Amber said that she didn't feel black enough in black spaces. She said that she didn't feel white enough in white spaces, basically saying that she didn't fit in anywhere. And Amber Rose got mad because she felt Jocelyn was trying to tell her how to identify. And to be fair, Jocelyn was doing a little bit too much. But, she accused what did she say? Jocelyn accused her of wanting to be white. That's what happened. And Amber got up to fight her. She just got up and swung on her basically. And as far as public opinion, I've been looking in different spaces, on TikTok and stuff where this was being talked about or whatever. And, it seems to be a little bit split down the middle. Some people are siding with Jocelyn and other people are siding with Amber Rose. But I see a lot of black women, no matter what side they're on, trying to force Amber to be black or to identify with being black. And this is where I agree with Amber. Stop forcing this lady to be black. She's not black, y'all. That's a white woman. She white. I don't know why y'all want this woman to be black so bad. Well, I do know why. Because black women got this bad. We like to live vicariously through mixed women. Okay. So we take them denying blackness or black womanhood as them denying us as black women. And we feel like if we can't claim them, then now we aren't good enough because they're the main ones being elevated in mainstream media and by black men. But I've told black women time and time again, mixed women's privilege does not trickle down to you. It does not trickle down. Have I not been saying that for years? You get nothing by claiming them as black. You don't get seen as more beautiful. You don't get the pedestal. You don't get desired by black men. You don't you don't get any of that. You just get undermined and erased. That's what you get. I've been saying this for 8 years. What mixed women get does not trickle down to you, black women. And it's okay that they don't identify as black women because they don't get to represent you. And black women, y'all need to stop allowing them to jump in and out of blackness because while it's true that she has never claimed to be a black woman, she's definitely the typical mixed woman who has intentionally thrown herself in black spaces. I mean, she was brought in by Kanye West, right? But she definitely has stayed in black spaces since then to stand out and get the preferential treatment in black spaces, right? Attention that she would normally get, that she would not get in the white community, right? And I think that Amber, she's a baby mama and all this stuff. And, I think I think she hates that she chose the black side to identify with. Does anybody else get that vibe from Amber? Like, I feel like she bet on the wrong horse and she kind of mad about it, but she can't really go back. For her to go back, she would have to change a lot, and that still might not even work. She had to get rid of all them tattoos, grow out that hair, get rid of that hideous forehead tattoo. She would have to do a lot. Yeah, Pink Lady says Amber has major buyer's remorse. Perfect way to put it. I agree. So she hates that she bet on the wrong horse, right? But she still benefits the most from the black community. That's why she's on that stupid show. you know and black women, especially black men as well, but black women too, have lifted her up like we do all of these mixed race women. Black men, black men like Kanye, they usher them in the community. And since black women follow right behind them, they're gonna lift them up too. And that's what we did with Amber Rose. And she's still in black spaces till this day, complaining about how much she doesn't fit in, even though she put herself there. You put yourself on College Hill in the middle of all them niggas, and you still crying about not fitting in. So what I say to black women, you gotta ignore black men. You gotta stop allowing these mixed women to do that. Okay, you're not a black woman, so you don't belong in black woman spaces. Why is she on College Hill? I don't watch it, but why the hell is she on College Hill? Hell, why is Jocelyn on College Hill? Jocelyn, however you pronounce her name. She sat up there and said she was mixed too. So again, I ask, why are black women supporting these women who barely claim them or don't claim them at all? Because Jocelyn, that's what she said. She said, "I'm mixed like you. I'm mixed too." And see, that's another thing that y'all do when you have a woman who's a little bit visibly more black than, a whiter woman, or a more ambiguous or white passing mixed woman. Then suddenly the darker woman becomes like, the darker mixed woman becomes the blackest woman in the world. And that's what y'all are doing with Jocelyn. And I'm like, no, she's mixed too. Y'all do the same thing with Cardi and Nicki. They have the same phenotype. They both colorist as hell. They both don't see themselves in most black women. But y'all be siding with one, you know, that's a little bit more culturally black, or the one that you think is a little bit more visibly black. It's just crazy. The Sanders sister says Jocelyn's dad is black and her mom is mixed. She said so on her Drink Champs interview. I'm talking about what she said on the show in the middle of this whole thing. She said that she was mixed too. So I'm telling you, she identifies with being mixed. Now on Drink Champs, to appeal to and see, this is what they do, and y'all fall for it. They, depending on the space, depending on how it benefits them, they're gonna say they're black in one space and then mixed in another. Jocelyn, for the most part, she probably identifies as mixed. But if it benefits her to be like, yeah, I'm black Puerto Rican, then she's gonna say that at that time. And y'all fall for it every time. Jocelyn doesn't identify with her blackness. It just makes her uncomfortable that somebody like Amber, who is more ambiguous than her, is saying that she's not black because she looks more unambiguous. Do you get what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. And so then y'all unambiguous black women who don't look anything like either of these women, don't look like Jocelyn, you then identify with Jocelyn and you make her blacker than she is. Stop. She's not either. Like, neither of these women represent you. That's my point here. Neither of these women represent you. Okay? And that's okay. And look, I am not saying you can't support mixed race women ever in any circumstance, but don't support them in spaces that are meant for black women. That's all I'm saying. And I know that's easier said than done because a lot of people are culturally black. I get it. But it's doable, especially when you stop supporting black men, because they're one of the main causes of this shit. Okay. And if you don't want to see, if they're representing you in a movie and you don't agree with it, don't go see the fucking movie. That's how you don't support. It's not as hard as what you think. And if you have mixed race daughters, don't intentionally put them in black spaces. Put them in multicultural spaces. That's not hard either. My mixed relatives, my mixed niece and nephew, they grew up in multicultural spaces. Their schools were very mixed. And they're not confused like most of these mixed people out here. Well, a lot of mixed people. But, I know we talk a lot about swirling and all that. But as black women, it won't benefit your mixed daughters to force them to identify as purely black. That's how you get these confused women, these confused, angry women like Amber Rose. It's okay for mixed women to identify with both sides of who they are. And they also need to represent themselves, not black women. That's why we have all of this confusion. And something else that I found was very interesting about this situation with Jocelyn and Amber, when dark skinned women get physical, because that happens, right? Dark skinned women will get picked on in school, and she'll fuck a bitch up, right? If a colorist light skinned girl picks on her, or a little boy picks on her, she'll fuck somebody up, right? And then what is she labeled? She's labeled violent. She's labeled a bully. She's aggressive. Oh, she needs to heal. She's hurt. She's bitter. She's insecure. What the colorist did, whether she's a light skinned girl or a black boy, is never brought into question. It becomes all about what the dark skinned girl needs to do to heal. But when a mixed woman like Amber Rose, or a mixed girl, initiates a fight over being called a wannabe white woman, why aren't the same insults being thrown at them? Why isn't Amber being called masculine, aggressive, insecure, bitter, low self esteem, traumatized, hurt, all the stuff y'all label dark skinned women? She's clearly still hurting. She's clearly still bitter about her upbringing and not being able to fully fit in anywhere. But notice she's not being diagnosed like a lot of dark skinned women and girls are. She's not being diagnosed. She's not being labeled a bully. She's not being labeled aggressive. Notice that. Y'all need to peep that. Look at the differences. And of course, there's still a plethora of black women supporting her, even after she called y'all ugly. Y'all remember when Amber Rose called y'all ugly? Because I ain't forgot about that. I think I did a video on it. She was talking about how she grew up in Philly and the girls was hating on her and they all had a certain look and they was ugly. You know who she was talking about. I think she said something about they didn't have no hair or something. Y'all remember that? I gotta go back and look at that video. I'll be forgetting my videos, but I'm pretty sure I did a video on it. I think. I could be wrong. I done did so many videos, I forget. Yeah, Pink Lady says, I remember she said she was conventionally more attractive. Yeah, she was talking about how all the girls from the hood in Philly, or wherever she's from, I think it was Philly. I did a video. Okay, yeah. And she was talking about how basically calling them ugly. And you know who she was talking about. Let's not play dumb. Yep. Jay Lee says she said all the girls in Philly were ugly. Uh-huh. Oh Lord. And if I recall, I think y'all was trying to gaslight me on that too. Y'all been dragging me for years in these YouTube streets. I can't believe I'm still here. Y'all got me fucked up. Y'all be dragging me. But yeah, y'all are still defending her and trying to force her to say she's black. Y'all are embarrassing. This is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Yeah, I loved Mariah Carey too when I was growing up. And look, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't sit here and be acting like I don't be supporting some of these problematic people. Like, I'm human too. Like, I understand that it can be hard. And the area that it's hard for me in is like music, because if somebody is good and they just happen to be colorist, like, and I love their music, it's hard for me to stop listening because I'm a lover of music, you know? And I'm not saying that I don't think Mariah Carey is colorist. I don't know. But like, I'll give you an example. That ghetto ass song, that Pound Town song, I honestly thought that was a joke. I thought it was a joke, some type of TikTok skit or something. But I like Nicki Minaj's verse on the remix of that. I like that remix. I'm sorry, I like it. I like it. And Nicki colorist as hell. She's problematic as fuck. I like that Pound Town remix. Oh yeah, Sabrina Claudio. I love her fucking music. I love her voice. I said the Pound Town remix, not the original. But Nicki's verse on that remix is that shit is tough. And so, Kiki Wyatt, very colorist. That's one of my favorite singers. I love Kiki Wyatt's voice. She's like top 5 when it comes to the most talent to me. So, it's hard. I completely understand when some of these people are thrown out in your face. It can be hard to not support if you genuinely like them or you like the music. I ain't gonna promote them, but I like some problematic colorist music from black men too. I'm one of those people. I gotta work out to like rap music. I gotta hear a couple ratchet songs. I'm one of those people. So, and I like good music. So if it's good, it's good. But the thing is, you don't have to go to their shows. That's how they make the most money. They make the most money from their shows. You don't have to go to their shows. And you can listen to the music, but that don't mean you gotta pay for it. But anyway, we're not gonna discuss that because I ain't trying to get locked up. Anyway, I'm just acknowledging that it's hard. And I understand. But you can do it. There's no reason. Like, I don't even understand. Like, is it that hard to not watch College Hill? Do y'all have to watch College Hill? Is it that hard to not like keep up with Krishan Rock? Like, really? That type of shit shouldn't be hard. You know what I mean? Yeah, Jalen, that song is so fucking ghetto. Pound Town is so ghetto. But Nicki's verse be hitting. Anyway, so the last thing I want to talk about is this Denea Jackson situation. And this relates to the colorism topic. Some of y'all said you wanted me to talk about this on the community tab. Um, and Denea said that she, at one point in time, had an issue with her dark skinned daughter because she looked like the women Derek cheated with. Okay. And I did a couple videos on, Denea and Derek back when, it was first revealed that he was cheating on his wife, and I didn't know he was married. Nobody knew he was married. But this is what Denea said recently. And, I did find this to be a little strange when Derek has cheated with all complexions of women. Okay. And to me, I could be wrong, but to me, okay, it just sounds like Denea never thought that her man would want a woman darker than her. And I think that's because she inherently sees dark skin on a woman as inferior. And this is common. So this is what I'm saying. This is what I think it is. I could be totally wrong. But I think she, always felt that way. And she's projecting that onto her daughter, or she was. Okay. And it reminds me of what I said a long time ago about how a lot of these lighter skinned mothers or brown skinned mothers who have dark skinned daughters, they have issues with their daughter's dark skin or have biases against dark skinned women in general for one reason or the other. And it never really gets checked. And it's the same thing when these colorist men like Kevin Hart or Lil Wayne, who have dark skinned daughters, who go on to say the most disparaging thing about dark skinned women. It's never really checked, right? It's checked by black women, but not by the community, right? But the minute a dark skinned woman says she wants to swirl, we're automatically questioned about, well, how are you going to be a good parent to your light skinned girl children? Because we have issues with colorism, right? But colorist lighter skinned people or brown skinned people are never questioned about how they are perpetuating and raising a bunch of self-hating dark skinned people, or how they feel some type of way about the skin complexions of their little dark skinned girls. And when you look at the evidence, it's much more common to see light or brown skinned women who have dark skinned daughters and are colorists than it is to see a dark skinned woman who has issues with her little girls being light skinned, right? But in these conversations, it's exacerbated as if dark skinned women with colorism issues who are mistreating their light skinned daughters are more common than women like Denea. who have issues with their daughter's skin complexion, right? Obviously, this is more common because we see this pairing the most. We see this, and I'm not really talking about Danae. She's more unambiguous, but like we see the pairing of dark skinned men and mixed race women or lighter skinned women all the time who have these dark skinned children. And these kids, they not being, especially the little dark skinned girls, right? Their beauty is not being affirmed. Okay. It's not being affirmed. They're not being raised to think that they're beautiful and their hair is beautiful. Their features are beautiful. I'm not saying Danae is doing this. I'm just using her as an example, right? We see more examples of that than actual dark skinned women mistreating their light skinned little girls. And we know we see more of that because dark skinned women, I mean, and black women in general, we swirl the least. But you would think in these conversations, and it's like I've said this before, like if you care so much about the kids, why isn't there more conversation about this? Why isn't there more conversation of these colorist parents raising these little dark skinned girls? Ain't y'all worried about the kids? Because when it's about dark skinned women swirling and having problems with their light skinned girls, you claim you're so concerned about the kids. So where is all this concern for these little dark skinned girls who are being raised in colorist households? Where is the concern? I still don't see it. And with Danae in particular, just to be fair, we can attribute some of her insecurities surrounding skin tone to Derek Jackson. Like I said earlier, women will feel inadequate if they don't feel they measure up to a man's fantasy, a man that they actually want. But I also believe it's more than what Danae is saying. And she already had some internal colorism and biases against dark skinned women. And she never thought her man would want somebody his complexion or close to his complexion. And that just made her the biases that she already had worse. And to be honest, it is a lot of lighter skinned women like that. Like and just women who are not dark that are like that. Because I remember telling a story a long time ago where, I was talking to my friend's brother out on the porch and his girlfriend rode past and like she had made the comment later, well, he doesn't like I didn't know he liked dark skinned girls or he doesn't like dark skinned girls just because we were talking on the porch. And so, and of course she was light skinned and so it's like it's just so strange. But I noticed like with dark skinned women, we just kind of expect it. We kind of expect the men that we date, if they are black men, we expect them to have dated a light skinned woman. And usually they have. But with light skinned women, it's like they're just shocked if it's just crazy. So, I feel like that may have been the case with Danae. Yeah, and back in the day, she was saying how, she had an issue with dark skinned women. So it's like, and I did a video talking about that. So I just think it's more to what she's admitting. And I watched this interview, and it's clear Danae still has some healing to do. I think both her and Derek are unwell. I really do. Neither of them are in the position to be giving advice, relationship advice. And Danae knows she wrong for trying to charge black women thousands of dollars for her little retreat. What is it, a healing retreat or a healing seminar or some bullshit like that? I think that's absolutely ridiculous. Clearly, she out here trying to scam the girls, just like that nigga who interviewed her. And this nigga here who interviewed her, he basically admitted to being just like Derek. He admitted to being a cheater and cheating on his wife. And I'm like, and then he was laughing at everything like it was a joke. I was like, that whole interview was just weird to me. And I just feel like I'm in the twilight zone sometimes looking at these shenanigans on black YouTube and just black mainstream media. I just be like, what is going on? What is going on here? Y'all wonder why I need frequent breaks. The black community is so backwards to me. Sometimes don't y'all just be looking at stuff and you just be like, wow, is this really happening? Like to me, that whole interview was just a shit show. Am I the only one who feels that way? So yeah, I be having to take breaks. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. Um can you do more content? Yeah, yeah, and I have more content, different content coming up. Don't worry. You're not the only one, Chrissy. It was very odd. It was. I'm just scrolling through the comments, seeing if I missed any comments. Uh Ashlyn, who said that? Can you tell me who said that? Cause y'all be real weird when I leave and I be gone for a minute. Y'all be thinking I'm gone forever. It's so strange. And y'all be like damn near celebrating. It's so weird. Rosella says, when you are ready, can you talk about how Jackie O was being held as wife when she was a black man and the color is protection of image angle to this? I talked about Jackie O earlier. So you're gonna have to watch the replay. But yeah, I've taken a month long hiatus before. I know it's not too often that I do that, but y'all need to understand. And I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna go. But I have a very full separate life outside of YouTube. I can't be here all the time like some people are who are on this platform. I can't be here all day, every day. And to me, it's just so crazy how I can be gone a whole month and still be having videos made about me and rumors being spread about me. I heard this Dusty actually say that I was pregnant or I was getting plastic surgery. And that's why I was gone for so long. And that's just weird. Like, why are y'all doing videos making rumors like that? I mean, do y'all miss me that much? I don't even be saying that and y'all just be making up stuff like that. Stop spreading rumors like that. That's weird. It's strange, y'all. It's like the weirdest thing. It's like when I'm gone, they just I guess they make up things to say to like fill in my absence. I don't know. And just like Ashlyn just said, I'm hearing content creators been saying that my channel isn't needed anymore. Nobody cares about colorism. That's why I haven't been here. And that's funny because my channel isn't just about colorism. I have level up content and I'm having more level up content on the way, new brand new stuff on Chrissy VIP. I'm not going anywhere. I just be busy. And when they talk about how the colorism conversation is dying, those very same people have been repeating my colorism points in their videos since I've been gone. Let's talk about that. Cause I be listening and I be like, oh, so but when I'm here and I say the same thing, I'm spending too much time on colorism, but you can say it in your videos? That's weird. So, it's not that black women don't care about colorism anymore or that it's no longer a hot topic. Y'all are still talking about it when I'm gone, repeating everything I say, bringing me up out of nowhere when I haven't even been here, making up rumors. And but you're saying you don't care about it. And the colorism conversation is dead. Well, then why are you still talking about it? And it's not lost on me that some of these content creators, they don't want me talking about colorism because they know I'm gonna break this shit down to the white meat. I'm gonna piss you off, I'm gonna trigger you, and I'm gonna get down to the bottom of the problem. While they just, barely skim the surface and keep dark skinned women complacent with the status quo. So I know why you don't like me, but you don't have to make up stuff. Oh, Amara, I've been known about that. Why you think I created Chrissy VIP? I'm trying to make it harder for people to just not flat out steal from me. I know we all learn from each other, but some of y'all, it's crazy. Well, I ain't gonna get into that right now. But yeah, it's so weird because when I talk about colorism, then all of a sudden it's something that black women should move on from, right? And it's a dead conversation and all this stuff because it's only a problem in Blackistan. But then they can talk about it along with every other Blackistan topic and it be fine. And it's supposedly so different and revolutionary when they do it, and it's beating a dead horse when I do it. When it's the same shit. You heard it from me and now you're repeating it. And see, I've been telling y'all, this is a competition with a lot of these other channels. They want me gone because they think it makes them shine brighter. But that's not true because guess what? I leave for a month and y'all are still in the same spot that you were before I left. So me being gone hasn't benefited you at all. Nothing has changed. You're still in the same spot. Hello? So while you praying on my downfall and you thinking that me leaving is somehow going to make a bigger space for you, that's not how it works. People still going to ask for me. You know how many people been reaching out for me to do videos begging me, watching old videos like when are you coming back? I had to get my Chrissy fix from watching old videos and I'm not trying to like brag about it. I'm just saying that's what it is. Girl, they be trying to take me out the game. They be trying to take me. You are not gonna take me out the game. If I leave, I'm gonna leave on my own when I want to leave. And look, the reality is, I could probably come on here and beat a dead horse about colorism for another 10 fucking years. Because look at all the colorism that has happened in the 1 month I've been gone. Look at how much I covered tonight. And there's more. I just didn't get to it. Look at how these people have literally been begging me to talk about it. I make a community post. Look how many responses on there. Like, talk about this, talk about that. You can talk about anything. I don't care. I just want to hear you. So people gonna always check for Chrissy. Like, you not gonna get rid of me. Like, you not like when people have supporters, they got supporters, and I got some heavy supporters. They really fuck with me. So it's like you're not gonna like people. It bothers me because people think they running me off, and that's never gonna happen. You're never gonna run me off. If I leave, it's gonna be because I want to leave. It will never be because of you. And me being gone is gonna leave a void. You're not gonna fill that void because you're not me. So some of y'all are just obsessed. But colorism isn't going anywhere anytime soon. And to be honest, that is what makes this work so discouraging, right? That's what makes people want to stop talking about it. Not that black women are no longer interested in hearing about it. Colorism will always be a hot topic, just like it has been for the last several decades, right? It's just that the face of the colorism conversation, right? The face continuously changes because this shit is exhausting. I'm not gonna hold you, it's exhausting. And the black women like me who were at the forefront of the conversation a lot of times eventually move on after they realize nothing is gonna change. Because black women, black people, other dark skinned women, they don't really want it to change. And that is a hard pill to swallow, but it's the reality of the situation. Truthfully, we are going in circles at this point with this conversation and with all these Blackistan conversations, to be honest with you. As soon as we take a few steps forward, we take 10 steps back. And here I am telling you what I told you 8 years ago again and again. Mixed women like Amber Rose privilege, it doesn't trickle down to you. Halle's representation in The Little Mermaid does not trickle down to you. And when I tell you the truth about it, you curse me out and you drag me on the internet. Y'all probably making videos right now, dragging me, cursing me out from what I said in this video. And you'll be acknowledging the same thing I said months or years from now after you drag me for filth. It's exhausting. And this is why, I'm doing less and less celebrity topics, and I'll be focusing more and more on Chrissy VIP and the black women who really get it and who are ready for the next step. Because I saw y'all, on the community tab, like, we don't want to talk about mainstream stuff. And I'm always going to come on here and talk about mainstream stuff if I feel like it. I don't think I'm ever going to stop that necessarily, but it will be less and less, and it will be more focused on other things. Women who are ready to move on from these circular conversations. I really just do this for the new people that come and that need to wake up and snap out of it, the new black women. That's the only reason why I be coming on here beating a dead horse. And I don't expect every single black woman or girl to get it all at the same time. That is completely unrealistic. We are all at various levels on our journey. So I try to respect that. And that's why I repeat myself so much for the newcomers. But yeah, we are working on other stuff. It's taking a minute, but I'm working on a lot behind the scenes. So just stay tuned for that. Y'all are going to be real excited. But that's all I wanted to say. I had to, you know how it is. You know how it is. Sometimes I got to, what? Why are y'all? I don't care about no manosphere nigga getting more views. Of course they going to get more views. I'm not competing with men. And see, this is what's wrong with y'all niggas. Y'all are trying to compete with women instead of competing with other men. What is that nigga views? This nigga here, Lamar, what is that nigga's views compared to a white man of the manosphere? Why aren't you comparing that nigga to him instead of me? See, this is what's wrong with y'all. Y'all are bitch ass niggas because you compare yourself to women instead of other men. Grown ass men comparing yourself to women. I don't compare myself to men. I don't give a fuck how much a man is getting more views than me. Do you really think I care about that? I don't even care about the women getting more views. Cause ain't nobody Chrissy. So why would I care? Okay, you said half the views and $800. Why did I need to know that though? Why would I care? Like, again, why are you comparing me? It's weird. Go compare yourself to men. Who said the sisterhood was strong? The brotherhood ain't strong because what are y'all building? The only thing you could come here and brag about is getting $800 in super chat and views on YouTube. That's all you got compared to a woman at that. And y'all think y'all winning. This is what's wrong with these niggas. They think that's winning, y'all. Lamar thinks that's winning. He thinks it's winning that a black man is getting $800 on YouTube and more views than a black woman on YouTube, or half the views on a black woman on YouTube and getting more money. He thinks that's the same. He thinks that is winning as a man. He thinks that's winning. But then these same niggas we want to talk about high value. $800? Really? You know how I'm not even gonna say that because then you really be sick. I made $800 in 10 minutes on Chrissy VIP when I first released it. What are you talking about, sir? It's crazy how they think little shit like that is winning. It's weird. Anyway, I'm leaving. I'm gone. I have to go. Love y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for joining me. Bye. Chrissy VIP, ChrissyOnline.com. Love you. Bye.